Hi, I'm Tony Lawrence, and I'm here again in my It's Cold in Here outfit. And I'm going to sit down and drink my tea to help myself warm up even more. So, why is it cold in here? Well, I'm trying to save money because my wife is in assisted living, and that costs a lot of money every month, and I don't have as much left over as I used to. So, I need to save some money here and there, and heat is one place where there are big savings to be made. Anyway, I am here to talk about iOS 27 and some strange things in the latest rumors that were from Mark Gurman, I believe. One of the things that he said was that iOS 27 is going to contain, well, at least some of the Smart Siri stuff. The Apple Intelligence stuff that we were all promised last year, and they got sued over, and now apparently they have to pay us all at least $25 if we bother to submit to submit that we want to be part of the lawsuit for $25. I don't think I care about that. However, they said if a lot of people don't submit a request to be on the lawsuit, then they might get as much as $95. And I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I may forget about it. We'll see. Anyway, I'm writing an article at medium.com, pcunix.medium.com. That's pcunix.medium.com, and that is where I write. And I put videos up first that have the content of what I want to write, and then I write the story from the video, or maybe sometimes I ignore the video and just do it completely different. Anyway, let's see what happens here. So, as I said, Mark said that there will be at least parts of iOS 27 Smart Siri in the release of iOS 27. That's a long sentence that really wasn't well constructed, isn't it? Anyway, but the other thing he talked about was customizable camera controls. And he said Apple will do this using something they call widgets. Why confuse things, but I guess what else? I mean, on watches, they call these things complications. They're little controls that you put on to do different things with your watch or make it look different. And anyway, complications on your watch, you have places that you can poke, and you can change that where you poke to put a different complication on to show you the time, the temperature, all sorts of things. If you've done this, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. If that's the type of interface changing that Mark is talking about going to be in iOS 27, I kind of think that's ridiculous, but oh well, that maybe that's all that they can do. However, in combination with the Smart Siri, how does this make sense? You should be able to tell Siri, okay, so on the video control, if I'm taking a video, so on the video controls, I want this and that, I want it set to this, I want it set to that, I want this, that, and I don't want this and that and that and the other thing. And the same with the camera controls, and the same with the panoramic controls. You should be able to tell Smart Siri, if she's so darn smart, how to make your default camera controls look. And then, for example, if you had said, don't bother with a panorama, I never use it, and then one day you're out and, oh my God, look at this beautiful view. Oh my God, oh, I must do a panorama. You could just say to Siri, hey, I need the panorama. Thank you. And there you go, even though it wasn't there on your interface that you use every day. For example, most of the things that I use my camera for, almost everything I use my camera for, is this kind of stuff right here. This and screenshots. And that's about it. I don't normally take photos of other things. So I might just set it up and say, hey, all I need on there is the video controls. And this is the way I want it to be, and leave me alone on the rest. That's fine. So I could do that. Now, other things about this whole thing of interfaces. One of the things that has always bugged me is menus that have hundreds of things on them. Well, usually not hundreds, but dozens of things on them that I don't use. I would love to be able to adjust those, to say to Smart Siri, hey, leave this, that, and that on the menu. Take all the rest of that stuff off, and I don't need it. Now, that doesn't mean that Siri couldn't do it. For example, I could take off the pivot control on a menu because I'm never going to use it. And the reason I'm never going to use it is because every time I use it, I screw it up and I spend 15 or 20 minutes farting around here and there trying to get it to work right until I finally realize, oh, yeah, this is how I do it. I don't use it often enough to remember how this silly thing works. So just take it off the menu, and when I want to pivot, I'll say, hey, this spreadsheet here, make me a pivot table that shows me how this is broken down by months. Great. Okay, that's wonderful. Just do that for me, and it's fine. But I don't need to see it on the menus when I'm doing my stuff. Now, maybe eventually, maybe we all get used to this, and maybe we don't need any menus or controls at all. We just tell Siri what we want. And some of it is nothing to do with menus and controls. For example, I screw stuff all the time in one of my budgeting spreadsheets where I accidentally am typing something and am not focused in the field that I think I am, and I overtype a number with letters. And that's not something I want to do. Or without realizing it, I jump down into the formula for the table and I start adding things to it. Don't let me do that. Don't lock the spreadsheet. Don't require me to hit edit to do anything, but don't let me do anything that looks stupid to you. So, for example, if I start typing text into a numeric field or vice versa, at least question me. And if it's a numeric field and I'm typing text, don't let me put it in there. If I'm changing a formula, if it makes no sense, and let's say it's a formula that's repeated on multiple parts of a column, multiple text cells that are going down a column, and I am in one of them and I'm changing it, question that. And if it just goes on, boom, 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 across like that, there must be something wrong. So be ready to, did you want to do that? Would you like that undone? Yes, stupid. I want it undone. I don't want that. Don't let me change the formulas in this column ever again. Thank you, Siri. Now, this could be different stuff for every spreadsheet that I do. Different types of spreadsheets may have different needs of what I want to protect, what I don't want to protect. And I should be able to do that. I should be able to do it once and have it stick there. When I load this particular spreadsheet, I want it to work this way, and so on. That's what I would think should go on, and it should be the same thing with the camera. Let's say I really was somebody that took pictures all the time. Well, if I were someone that takes pictures, then I would say, okay, so when I'm switch over to the pictures, or I say I want to take a picture, or I hit the control that's going to take a picture, then do this, set the camera up like this. However, if it looks like I'm taking a picture of my wife, then change it, okay? Because I want that to be a different type of picture. Of course I do. And I may want that with other things. I may say with groups, make it this. But whatever, I should be able to tell it how I want the thing to be set up, depending upon what I'm doing, whether it's daylight, whether it's dark, whether I'm indoors, whether I'm outdoors, whatever. It should be able to tell it and have it stick for that. Now, I have no idea whether any of this is going to come to pass in iOS 27 or iOS 28 or ever, but isn't that how it should be? Isn't that how Smart Siri really should work? I think so. What do you think?